What up, Spiros? On this trip, I do a duo trip, just me and ape crew, Caleb. We go out on my boat, El Matatan, quick inshore run. The mutton season, or sama season, had just opened up again, so I wanted to hit some of those spots where I knew they were holding fish. I was feeling really good on my dives this day, super relaxed. Luckily, I was able to get one, had a really nice meal out of it. Super fun day. Besides just the mutton, had some really cool encounters, great footage, so stay tuned and you won't want to miss it. Starting off here, I got a beautiful horse-eye jack for chum. I had just shot this jack on a solo shore dive at night the day before, so I was excited to put it to good use. This first drop is at my cubera mark from my previous video. If you didn't see that, make sure you go check it out. I chased down this cubera for several weeks trying to get to him. Visibility was very bad, but I know it's a fishy zone, so I'm just gonna go with my usual strategy. Dive down into the chum, slowly descend towards the bottom, look around, see if anything's eating the chum, and if I don't see anything, I'm just gonna hit the bottom, grunt, scratch, and wait. I really like this reef here due to the chunkiness of it. Like, the bottom has so many different little small holes and crannies for lobsters or fish, which tends to be more productive zones. And then also it has these nice deep caverns in between. On top of that, it's a really nice depth. You know, the ledge comes in at around 50 to 60 feet, something like that. And here's the fun part, where we sit, scan around, and wait. Since the muttons are in season, I'm really hoping that one will just charge me out of nowhere, because if you've ever hunted muttons before, you know that they're very attracted to grunting and dusting and scratching. So even if you don't see one anywhere, a lot of times they'll come flying in and turn right at you and give you the perfect shot. Nothing ended up coming in, so I head back to the surface while I still have enough breath. Personally, I like to head up a little bit early. I never push it, because if a fish shows up towards the end of my breath hold and it's a big cubera and I have to fight it to the surface, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm risking a blackout, especially when I'm solo diving. After a quick breathe up, back to the same program, slowly drop down into the chum and investigate. As I'm scanning around, I see all these black durgan, and then eventually something a little more interesting catches my eye. It's a nice sized yellowtail snapper, so I take a longer shot, knowing they're skittish, and he turns and dodges it right as I pull the trigger. I ended up doing one more drop in this zone, hit the bottom, scanning, grunting, scratching, dusting, the usual program. Seeing some black durgans, a little bit of life, very comfortable hitting this sand spot. Usually I like to lay down in sand whenever possible because it's more comfortable on the legs and you can get more relaxed. I was rocking these Oceanamo Aquanaut long carbon fins, helping me get down to the bottom and conserve energy. So no luck for me on the first spot, but it's time to check in with Caleb and see how he did on the boat. We shift slightly down the reef to a specific zone that I haven't hit yet. I do the same technique, I chum. This time I drop my flasher as well, just to provide a little bit of shine through that murk. As I'm descending, I grab my flasher and continue the rest of the way to the bottom. This was a spot I never hit before, but I really liked the looks of the reef because I think the top of these rocks was about 50 feet and then it drops off to 60. There's a small mutton off in the distance, but I wasn't interested in him. These big chunks of reef over sand is really good zones for muttons. They, for some reason, just love where that reef meets the sand. At this point, I'm moving around a lot more across the reef than I normally would, but it's because I'm investigating the different pieces of chum to see if anything good is eating it. Usually, the more you move around, the more limited you are in your dive time. But as I start to ascend, I notice that classic white chin coming straight at me, and it's a beautiful sama. Took a little bit of a longer shot, but I cracked the spine with that Oceanemo single roller. Let that rolla fly. Typically you want to bring the fish up to you, but since I was a little low on breath and there was no sharks around, I just let it hang as I make my way back to the surface. Even with that spine shot, he's got a bit of fight left in him, so I gotta keep pushing.
Whoa! Mutton!
Shot placement on these fish is super important, and I knew I had a good shot, seeing it go straight through the shoulders and the spine. Good holding shot, this fish isn't going anywhere. Super stoked to get him up. I just bring him into my hands, then brain bleed as always.
First mutton of the year.
At this point, we had to get a little photo shoot in. You know, we're always getting the good clips. Shout out to Caleb. Check out his page, Ape Crew, surfing, fishing, diving. He's got it all.
Let's go.
I had to lock in signature swipe techniques. Get the horizontal, double horizontal, get the vertical. This mutton was about 8 pounds, so not my biggest, but really nice eating size. I go back to the same zone, do one more drop, a little bit more chum, also the guts from the mutton, to check it out. Not seeing anything, so I decide to just hit the bottom, go all the way down to the sand, see if something doesn't come in. Nothing came in, but it's always good to explore some of these zones that I'm not accessing from the shore dives, where it's a little bit deeper reef, potentially some bigger fish hanging out. Trying to identify new spots always. I highly recommend diving with the dive watch so you can track your progress and you know how deep you are and how long you're down. Next drop, we moved over slightly to a different zone. I randomly threw my flasher and 2 big Cerro mackerels came in to investigate. I try to just head down slow, not spook it. Second one comes in, almost gives me the top down, and then he spooks as well. And that was my chance.
Fuck. 2 monster Cerros. They didn't give me a shot.
Then this old turtle came in to explore some of the commotion. Super cool encounter, covered in barnacles, and he was really friendly. Here I saw a fish, so start heading down, try to get a slow drop on him. It's a decent sized schoolmaster, definitely worth taking. Try to approach him from behind, gives me the tail wag, and I just choked. Whiffed it, led him too much. Next drop, another nice sama comes in on the flasher. I try to just take a long shot as I'm falling, which is always a mistake. Rushed shot. I always recommend hitting the bottom first, it's easier with the muttons. As you can see, the weather got real nasty, cut our day short, but we got a barracuda on the way in as well. Even on a short trip like this, we got enough food to eat, we got to run the boat, we had some fun, checked out new zones, so makes it worth it even when you're running in with some rain.
I have to drive into that. Bro. Yeah.
Real busy day at the ramp. It's less than ideal. Gotta back the truck in, get the trailer into all this mess while people are just hanging out at the beach, so it's always fun. Adds to the challenge of spearfishing. Nice thing about a half day, you got plenty of time to clean up your fish and eat it in the same day. Cooked up the collars real quick, whipped up some ceviche, and that was it.